Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today in this video I'm going to be sharing with you how I made this pretty dress that I'm wearing to dance right now. I hope you guys like it. Do well to subscribe to my channel and turn on your notification button so that you'll be notified when I upload a new video. So I'm going to start off by trimming out this beautiful lace trimming that I got from the market. This lace I got only a half yard of it. I don't have much money to make this dress, but I want it to be very fine, so I got the trimming so I could use it to use as applique for my dress. I'm actually using my clinical scissors for this. How funny. Some people do use soldering iron. Since I don't have it, I use scissors to do my trim out. So when I finish trimming, I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to go ahead and draft my pattern for the bodice. Okay, so I already have my basic pattern here, the front and the back. All I need to do now is to manipulate it in order to have the style I wanted, because I wanted an illusion neckline for this. So this is my armhole, my bust line, my under bust, and my waist bust line. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to go ahead and create my darts for this. So for these darts, what you need to do is you need to create princess darts. Okay, so I'm going to try to explain as much as I can how I create my princess darts. Okay, so already I have my measurements and my lines there already. So all what I need to do is that I'm going to subtract my bust point from my under bust, and whatever I have left, my bust point was about 38 and my under bust was 29, so I subtracted that, and whatever I'm left with, I'm going to divide that into two, and so I'm going to use that to be creating my that's right here in my under bust. Okay, so I was left with 3 inches. Okay, when I finished doing that, I had 3 inches. So what I'll do now, I'm going to be marking out that 3 inches right on my dart line here. So when you subtract what you have in your bust line from what you have in your under bust, whatever you have, mine I had 6 left. So that's it, because this is half of the bodice. Okay, this is in fold. You're going to be cutting the bodies in fold, so it's half of it. So I'm going to be dividing that by 2, and that gave me 3. For that 3, I'm going to be marking 1 towards the center front, and the remaining part I'm going to mark it towards the side of the bodice. Okay, the remaining 2 inches. So I have 1 inches towards the front and 2 inches towards the back, and I'm going to come and just below my bust line, I'm going to mark 1 inches from below my bust point. I'm going to connect the line like this. So that's what you need to do for your princess darts. So I'm going to mark that now, and when I finish marking that, I'm going to go ahead and just draw the line straight down to my waist line. Okay, so I've already drawn the line straight down to my waistline. Next, I'm going to manipulate the neck. Okay, so I wanted this v-neck illusion neckline, so I'm going to come to the waist point and I'm going to mark like 2 inches from my arms, and I'm going to connect the line right down to where I have 1 inches below my bust points. Okay, and that will be my neckline. So I'm going to use my hand and kind of straighten everything out, and I'm going to bold this line for you guys so you can see it. Okay, so that will be like my side fronts, and now I'm going to from that line come in by another 1 inch, and I'm coming down to my under bust line to mark 1 inch, and I'm going to connect the 2 lines like this in a straight line to give me that V that I wanted. Okay, so I'll just draw it straight out and thicken the line for you to see. Okay, So now I'm almost done with my front part, only that I wanted to create my yoke that I will use my nude knits to do the illusion neckline. So for that, I'm going to mark just a little bit above my armhole line, and I'll connect it to the armhole line, and that will be pretty much about it. It's not really hard, it's very simple actually. So I use my curve ruler and I just curved it a little bit out. You can make it straight. At the end of the day, I end up making it straight because it was kind of stressing me out. So I made mine straight. So you can also make it curvy if you like the stress though. So that's it. Next thing, I'm going to go ahead and mark out my horizontal measurements, okay, that will make the whole of the body. So I'm going to go ahead and mark out the remaining parts of the dress. Okay, for my waist I have twins. Okay, for my underbust I'm going to be using the same thing I use for my bust, which is 38 divided by 4, and that I'm going to mark out, and I will add 2 inches seam allowance to it, okay, and I'll mark it out. Then I'll come to my bust line and also mark the same thing for my bust line. Then when it comes to my under bust, I'm going to mark, okay, let me start from my waist. I'm going to mark the face, adding together the 3 inches that I removed for the darts. I'm going to add it back, okay. So my waist is 29 divided by 4. To that I'm going to add 2 inches seam allowance, and I'm also going to add this 3 inches that I already cut out, and then I'll go ahead and mark everything out. So what you need to do is your waist divide by 4 plus 2 inches plus 3 inches for the darts, and then you go ahead and connect everything together. That's pretty much about it, guys. I hope this was simple enough for you, okay. Sorry about that. So I'm going to set this aside and work on the back piece and manipulate it. For the back piece, I'm not going to be using princess dart. I'll use normal darts of 1 inches, and I connect the darts all the way up just like this. And what I need is to work on the shoulder so that it will match with the front shoulder when I finally couple everything together. So I'm just going to measure how wide the shoulder will be, and I'm going to match that with the back shoulder and trim everything out, okay, and reduce it to that point, okay. So at this point, this is what it will be like. So I'll connect it to the center back, and that will be pretty much about it, guys. So all I need to do now is trim everything out. Then I will now use it and place on my fabric and trim it also out from my fabric, and I'll go ahead and show you guys how this went and progress until I got the pretty flare dress that is so I'm going to go ahead and trim and cut everything out just like this. Don't mind me, I was out of pattern paper, so I had to improvise, and I use this my M Mobile magazine back to do my display. So this is my yoke that I've trimmed out. The next thing is to trim the center, front, and the side out, okay. So I went ahead and trim everything out, cut out the back line, and that's so much about it, guys. Very simple, it's not hard. So I've trimmed everything, and this is what it looks like: the center front, the side front, and the yoke. So this is how it will be. So you got this out in your fabric, and you're going to be adding the darts allowance when you're cutting it. Don't forget to add your that allowance of half an inch or 1 inch as you wish. So I'm going to go ahead and also trim the back piece out. Okay, back piece is very simple, not too much manipulation, only the arm that I had to reduce so it could match with the front, and that's about it. I'll use the normal darts at the back, not princess darts. If you want to make yours princess darts, you can go ahead and do that. Mind you, I'm not a professional, okay? I'm a self-taught. I've never gone for any kind of fashion training or fashion designing training. I just learn on my own watching some YouTube videos. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the link of where I got the basic bodice pattern tutorial from, that I knew how to draft basic bodice pattern. Okay, and this is it, guys. I'm just going to go ahead and trim this out in my fabric. This will be for the neck, the yoke will be for the neck, and also leave your allowance for the yoke and for the center and side fronts. So I went ahead and I've trimmed off this. Mind you guys, this is the cheapest dress you can ever make in this life. I used this lycra lining and nets to make this dress. Those are the fabric I use, lycra lining and nets. Okay, so I've cut this out in fold. The center front will be cut in fold, and also I've left my allowance. Next thing is just to join everything and flip everything inside out. Well, that join, this video wasn't for joining. I just wanted to show you guys how I cut out my stuff. And mind you guys, remember, this is the part 2 of this video. The part 1 was how I created the base for the skirts, the flare base, the 1080 degree skirt that I made. So I went ahead and I've joined everything. This is my lace, net snood lace at the front for the yoke, and this is the center front. I've added some applique. I'm still going to be adding more because I'm not satisfied the way it looks right now, and I've added some to the back. I'll add some to the side front, and I've also put in some wadding to make my boobs cups. So I've done all that and I've coupled everything. I'll just join the side fronts and I'll join it to the skirt and I'll add the zip. So next, I just wanted to run it through and show you guys how I cut the net for the skirt. Already I've made the base for the skirt, in which is the part 1 of this video. I will leave the link of how to cut and join and make the base of this skirt in the description box below, so you can go ahead and check out that video, how I created the base for this skirt. So all what I need to do now is to make the net that will sit on top of it. Okay, for the net, I'm going to be taking I'll be using 3 different nets on 4 folds. Okay, so I'll fold the net into 4, trim it, cut it in the length that I want, and I'll have 3 of it at the end of the day. Okay, I'll have 3 of these nets at the end of the day, each net folded into 4. When you fold it into 4, I'll now have a length of 22. That's what I wanted, a length of 22 by 20. 22 by 20. Okay, so from the corner I've had 1 of it, 2 of it, and 3 of this mix. One was a bit shorter, one was like by 20 inches, not up to 22 like others, because I wanted it to be like a step-by-step kind of skirt. So I'm going to go ahead and place these 3 pieces of net folded into 4 equally. This is the shorter one on the top part of it. So after I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and trim out the waist part, since I wanted this to be like a 360 degree skirt. So I'm going to pin this down together because I want to cut out this skirt waist. So I pin this down and I'll measure, taking my radius and my diameter, I already know that I'm going to be using some how many inches am I using? I'm using like, I think 4 inches. Yeah, 4 inches to trim out the 4 inches to trim out the waist. Okay, if you want to know how to trim out the waist of your skirt, you go ahead and watch the video in my description link below. I'll leave the link of that video on how I made the base of this skirt. Okay, how to cut and sew your 1080 flare skirt. Okay, and this is my own method of cutting the arc of a skirt. I'll just use the needle and pin it to the foam under this, and that will keep it in place for it to rotate freely, so I can rotate it and cut it. I'll use this my machine engine that I removed from my machine and fold it down, and that will give it a hold. It will be like a weight that will hold it. And now this is just hanging and moving freely, so I can now trim and mark this out easily. Okay, so as I said before, I'm using 4 inches for my waist, so I'm going to go ahead and mark the 4 inches all the way around. And after I mark that, I'm going to go ahead and trim it out. I'm not going to be marking the down part of the skirt because I want it square. I want this skirt square. I'm not going to be cutting it round like a round circle skirt. No, I'm going to leave it this way. I've already trimmed out the length I wanted, and all I need to do now is to trim out the waist of the skirt. So I've marked this out perfectly well so that it becomes visible for you to see. So that's how it is now. I'm going to trim that out. So after trimming this, I'm going to go ahead and open it up, placing the 3 square in different dimensions. You place the first one, you open up everything, and you'll have like a big square with a circle in the middle. That's what you will have when you open this up. And then you're going to open that. This is how it looks. So you're going to open that, a big square with a circle in the middle. You're going to open that out and use the next one, placing the circle to be symmetrical in nature. You're going to place the other square in different dimension with the first one. Okay, and so you will do the same to the tape also, making the circle to align as much as you can. With that, you're going to be having that style that I had on my skirt that you saw, the tips hanging, like you have the tips hanging up and down, up and down. That is exactly what you have. So after you put 3 of them like this, you'll just grab the circle at the center and lift it up, and you've gotten your skirt already. So this is it. Just grab it up. You see how beautiful it's looking already. So you just grab it up and hold it like that. Next thing, you need to trim out where you have your zip allowance. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and trim that, like cut it straight line down. Look at the beautiful flowy skirt already. Oh, so just trim, like you just cut it straight down in a straight line and open it up. The next thing, I'll take this to the market since I don't have a weaving machine here, and they will use a fish line, what they call boning, to weave the bottom part of these 3 squares. Okay, tell them not to trim out anything. They should just weave it straight squares all together. And when I come back, all what I'll need to do will be to put everything together, couple it with the base that I already make. As I said before, I'll leave the link of the video of how I made the lace in the description, how I made the base, sorry, in the description box below. So this is the first layer of the skirt, and this is how the zip allowance has come out. I'm going to go ahead and join some part, leaving only their zip allowance, okay, so that when you're weaving it in the market it will come out nicely. So this is the base of my skirt, my umbrella. Oh, you need to see, this is so nice, you know, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and couple everything all together now. And guys, I'm so sorry I lost some part of the videos while I was doing this. So this is how the cloth came out. All you need to do is you just couple the bottom to the top of the cloth and add your zip. And also I added these beautiful beads, crystal beads as my sleeves, and that's so much about it, guys. So sorry I lost some part of the video of when I was coupling it, but it's not hard. Just couple the top and the bottom of the skirt together and add your zip, guys. The flow is just too much.
I was so impressed by the outcome of the dress. Okay, I'm very sure you guys also like this dress, huh? So do well to subscribe to my channel. Subscription is absolutely free, and also turn on your notification button that will be notified anytime I upload new video like this. So tonight I'm going out with my new dress to an award night, and well, I love you guys so much, and please subscribe, turn on your notification button. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video, and until my next video.